Hey everybody, it's Carter Mann. Gonna put together a little video here made up of panels from my graphic novel that I've been working on for the last year and a half. Immortal Orphans, named after the found family that come together and form a team. Also a little tongue-in-cheek about how most superheroes are immortal and orphans. The book's kind of meta. It goes satire parody every once in a while. But no fourth wall breaking. This is a serious story. You're gonna like it. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, it's weird. But ultimately, it's extremely enjoyable. I know you're gonna love it. Let's start with the elevator pitch. A natural, reoccurring cosmic portal ties together the destinies of heroes from throughout time. By the way, I do have 4 issues complete and ready for you over at Amazon Kindle, also at Patreon. And we'll be looking at about probably 10 to 12 issues overall for this original origin story arc. So yeah, there's a cosmic portal that reoccurs every 200 years. During that time, people from the other side of the portal can come through and visit the Earth. Not the other way around. Humans trying to go through the portal, that's instant death. Unless it's been augmented. The main story takes place in the year 2220, in a future where the United States has been broken up into 4 smaller countries. Our differences finally divided us. One country for the religious, one country for the academic, one for the hopelessly ignorant, and one for those seeking beauty and immortality. And it's in that last one, the country of New Shangri-La, where our adventure takes place. It's also where the Portaluminous, that cosmic portal, can be found. New Shangri-La is led by Julian Durand. Now, he's the novel's antagonist. Julian's mastered a secret new science that can extend human life, can also bestow individuals with amazing abilities. He's kept himself alive for over 400 years, and many members of his family have been alive for almost as long. No doubt by now you have noticed his face. That is plastic surgery face. Old Julian's been alive for a long time, but he is aging, albeit slowly, and he's tried some things, like plastic surgery to kind of retain his youth. Not really working in his case, but it helps to add to the creepiness. Julian's an interesting character. He is evil, but he provides his citizens in New Shangri-La with probably the best quality of life out of the 4 countries. His citizens love him. They're happy, and they're glad to turn a blind eye to his, most heinous policies and programs, of which there are many. One of which being the Psy-Cop program, where the corpses of the recently deceased are reanimated, then fitted with cybernetics and other software to become part of the country's law enforcement agency. The Psy-Cop program. And if that doesn't sound gnarly enough, it occasionally produces an unintended FZT, feral zombie toddler. The country's full of them. Wild packs, it's a problem. Another normalized policy of Julian's is the medical lottery, which every citizen must be entered into if they have any scheduled elective surgeries. And if chosen, the subject can be exposed to any kind of experimental procedure in the name of science progress. But wink wink, really more in the name of Julian's trying some creepy stuff in his endless mission for immortality. That's his main motivation, by the way. Enter Marcus Durand, aka the Hernia Man. He's the only biological son of Julian Durand. His number came up in the lottery at the time of his umbilical hernia repair surgery. And to show fairness, Julian used experimental sciences on Marcus, altering his DNA. Marcus developed superhuman strength and increased skin density. He could also project lengths of small intestine from his abdomen, with which he could swing, attack somebody, or, ensnare them. He becomes the poster boy for his father's medical lottery and the country's official superhero, the Hernia Man. But it doesn't last. Soon, Marcus begins suffering debilitating side effects from the medical lottery procedure, and that's where we pick up with him in the story. Julian's only other biological child is his daughter, Liberty Durand. She's raised to work for the family business and security. Highly trained in combat, weapons, and strategy, Liberty is a force to be reckoned with. She's decked out in state-of-the-art bionics and cybernetics. She's also the 8th clone of the original Liberty, who died 180 years ago unbeknownst to her. As a gift for his daughter, Julian created 5 special children in a lab using his secretive sciences to be featured in a children's TV show about superpowered teens who teach viewers about the world and fight evil. much of this idea coming from the help of his daughter's imagination at the time. It becomes one of the most popular television shows of all time. The 5 children, or siblings, are all immortal, but trapped in the bodies of 14-year-olds forever. We catch up with those 5 siblings as their unconscious, frozen bodies are about to be dumped into a hellhole, which is society's answer to garbage in the future. Of the siblings, only Science Boy is rescued. Yeah, they all have fun names. He has genius-level intellect and is often carrying a science bag, an ancient leather messenger bag from which he can gather magical energies and use in a limited variety of ways. Science Boy is bent on getting revenge for his murdered siblings. He's rescued by Quinn the Lucky, who's cursed with long life and good fortune. Quinn's been alive for over 2,000 years. If he's in danger of bodily harm or death, his luck will kick in, causing the universe to provide whatever scenario is needed to save him. He's also lucky in superficial ways like gambling. He's had many families throughout the ages, outliving them all. Many famous figures from history were actually Quinn. He is tired of living and exists in a deep depression, longing for death. Now you remember the story centers around a cosmic portal. One side of that portal leads to Earth. The other side leads to another dimension made of energy and light. All the beings there are simply light and shapes, as far as our human eyes can tell. They also just happen to be every single god that ever was worshipped or documented in Earth's history. All of them, all the Greek gods, Egyptian gods, African gods, current gods. One of these individuals in particular is named Hayden. She's the daughter of 2 very famous gods. No spoilers. And she has never been to the Earth because it's now forbidden. When the Eudaimonians travel to Earth, they are granted a physical body, and with that come a whole host of emotions, desires, and time on the Earth ends up being a form of addiction for them that significantly can alter their personalities and objectives. Well, as you can imagine, Hayden wants to find her way to Earth. She's grown up on the legends she's heard of her people who were there. She wants to see it for herself. And as I said, when the Eudaimonians cross the portal barrier, they are gifted a humanoid body, and part of their essence translates into an accessory, usually a powerful weapon, but it can be anything, completely unique to each individual, and it's called an aspect variance. Hayden is going to find herself coming to Earth to gather up all the lost aspect variances that some of her people left behind when they fled the Earth long ago. And on Earth, to those very few humans in the know, when all these items, aspect variances, are gathered together, it's called the God Collection. And these items are sought after as items of great value. And so that dumps us right on Ganyan's doorstep. Ganyan is me and you. If me and you existed in the very last generation of humanity, in an underground city where the only real future is maybe the chance to see the end of the world. Ganyan's the guy that's got to go back in time, try to correct something that went wrong, and deal with all the weirdness that we've already described about New Shangri-La and the Portaluminous portal and guys shooting intestines out of their gut. He's a live-in-the-moment kind of guy, no hesitation. He's got no plans, no goals, because those things require a future. So he's just living his best life in the last days of humanity, not entirely worried about any laws or rules. He'll travel back in time with his companion, Artie, who is an android with artificial intelligence, of which Ganyan is actually extremely prejudiced against, hates robots. Artie can make all kinds of tools and weapons out of his body, obviously very smart. He'll play chaperone or mentor to Ganyan as he learns all about the nanotechnology that gets put in his body before the trip back in time and the abilities that give him. Ganyan can teleport, he can quick heal, but can he quick heal the timeline? He's literally got to go back and do that whole save the world stuff. He'll gather this team of quirky heroes together and become the leader he was always meant to be. Get ready for non-stop action. Get ready for heartwarming moments. Then get ready for non-stop action. Then how about a little comedy? Then non-stop action. A little bit of horror. Then non-stop action. A little bit of romance. Then you guessed it, non-stop action. Oh, and it's gonna get weird too, folks. It's gonna get so weird. That's what I want the tagline to be. Immortal Orphans. It's gonna get so weird. Check out my subscription tiers on Patreon. Help me get this story completed. And pick up issues 1 through 4 right now to start enjoying the world of the Immortal Orphans. Thanks, everybody.